Episode 57 of Bailey's Black Cloud podcasts. The OG, the freebie, whatever you want to call it. Thanks for being here. My name's Jason Bailey in the Golden Scissors Studio, beautiful Roswell, Georgia. Thanks to Stockton Mortgage for sponsoring the Golden Scissors Studio. Dave Flashner is the man. 561-951-0984 or stockton.com/Dave-Flashner. He's a hell of a guy. Stopped by my house the other day because not to do mortgage stuff, even though I do deal with him with my mortgages, and you should as well. But his daughter is having a birthday, and he's got a special trip for her. I guess I could say it because I'm sure she's not a listener, but she it's a surprise trip. Should I say it? I mean, that'd be horrible if she found out.
How old's the daughter?
She's a teenager. I forget, like 13-ish, something like that. Maybe okay. A little bit younger.
I doubt she's listening.
Okay, I just don't want it to get back to her. Okay.
I hope not.
So if you know daughter Flashner, don't repeat this, but this is really cool. So she's a big Katy Perry fan, and Katy Perry is doing a residency in Vegas. So he's surprising her with a trip to Las Vegas, not to gamble and do all that shit that we do, but to do, fun stuff for her and taking her to Katy Perry. So he reached out to me and he's like, Jason, do you have any hookups with Katy Perry? No. Yeah. The thing with Katy Perry is Katy Perry was a superstar the second I Kissed a Girl came out. She didn't work her way up the ranks. The second that song came out, she was almost untouchable. Because I know her label and her record rep. And I remember when she first came out, she was in town. This was when we were in Orlando, and we had a parody song that one of the guys on the show, what was his name? The heavyset guy with the beard, bald-headed guy. Nate, you know what I'm talking about? Bald-headed guy, the beard, the tattoos. Nice guy, but then he kind of turned heel because he went with that other douchey dude that was on the show, and they went to some like AM station and they trashed me. Remember?
Oh,
Jabba.
Yeah.
Anyway, he was a nice guy. He had a good scene. He just was misled. Anyway, we did a parody song, and I was like, oh, man, I want her to hear it. She's in town, and I run into the record rep, and who lives here in Atlanta, actually, and I said, hey, is there any way? He goes, dude, she's untouchable. This was like 20 years ago, like 15 years ago. But what I was able to do is reach out through a good friend who's a lot more powerful than I am, and reach out to the record company, and they were nice enough to send us some Katy Perry stuff for her, because she's got her own line of makeup and stuff like that. So they sent a nice little care package, which was cool. And the girl's going to get something sent from Katy Perry's management. So, I did the best I can.
Oh, very nice.
But Dave Flashner's daughter, I hope you have a happy birthday. There is Mexico Nate in Mexico. Actual Mexico. That's where Nate is at right now. Hello, Mexico Nate. Hola.
Hola, mi amigos.
Hola.
How you guys doing?
Hola, good. Hola. I forgot that I have your music on standby in my Black Cloud bank, and I never play it. I apologize. That's horrible. People love the Nate Mexico music. Because I don't want them to think it's Nate's Mexico moment. So we do that on Tuesdays, which is a sponsorable segment. So you, freebie listeners, can't hear it.
I think that's Mondays.
Or Mondays. Thanks, Brandon. There's Brandon.
Well, they don't know either.
Yeah, checks and balances.
They can't hear it.
Yeah, they don't know which day, Brandon. They're not paying to be a 2%er, a subscriber. But if you do, and you are, and you want to, we do appreciate it. We don't care. We're just joking around. We love our 2%ers. We love those that support with the subscription stuff. But if you just want to listen to Wednesdays free shows and Sundays free shows, and every once in a while we'll put a freebie up there, then by all means. We are adding some more content. We've added Brandy and Lindsay. Have you talked to them about the name of their show? I think there's a disconnect between us, you, and them. Because originally it was the only Brandy and Lindsay podcasts going off of their only, because they talk about their OnlyFans accounts. Both of them have it, which is, I find the podcast extremely interesting. It's hilarious. It's the stuff that we want to know, and now we get to hear it every week about anybody, right? That's in that world. But Nate changed the name to the Only Brandy and Lindsay Fans podcast, which is fine. I don't care either way, but I don't think they know that.
They do. That's what we're going with.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what they're saying.
That's what, Nate says you add a fans, and that's what we're going with. Gavel down. Do.
No, there's no fans. We're going
no
with
fans.
what. No, yeah, that's what I sent you the updated logo right after you'd emailed me, and they'd already sent it said it in the podcast, so we're just leaving it.
Oh, okay. I didn't even catch it. That's my bad. When you originally, I was in line at the grocery store when you sent me the logo, and Rachel's behind me, and I said, because you asked me to pick which one I liked, and I said, I turned to my better half, and I said, Rach, which one do you like? And she goes, I like the lips. And I said, I agree. And then we text Nate back and said, go with the lips. And that's how the Only Brandy and Lindsay podcast logo was made. And now on our merch shop, podcastthebs.com, which seems to be a hot seller since they're in episode 2 now, their second week, right?
Right.
So the ladies are buying the little chick tank
They're
tops.
actually 3. They're on 3 now.
3. The little chick tank tops that they got there. And
Yeah, you get a onesie if you have a baby.
magnets and stuff. But yeah, Nate put a bunch of new designs up there recently. Got that one. We got what's the one that people wanted because my wife said it on the Smarta Marta the other week. Was it I like snacks?
Oh, I like snacks and I know things.
Yeah. and the way you did the design was great because it's like stay calm. You use that kind of like look.
It was it's the Game of Thrones. It's from Game of Thrones. It's the Game of Thrones meme.
Oh, okay.
But it's the same style, kind of.
That's good. They got noodle juice up there based off of my drunk video from Harris a couple weeks ago. People wanted that one, and there's something else. Didn't you
What is noodle juice?
So at Harris in Murphy, North Carolina, there's a noodle bar, which is, Chinese noodles.
Like ramen, kind of?
Yeah, like ramen noodles. It's not that expensive. It's fairly cheap, and there's not, you don't have to wait that long, and it's right by the tables, so you can. It's very convenient to eat. And I try not to eat past 7 p.m. It's just not good for you. The older you get, just sticks to you and stuff like that. But I was so fucking hungry this night. I think we had a gummy. That might have been it. I was so hungry, and we made all these friends that do Thor and this and this. And it was just, we were having a blast. And everybody's going to noodle bar. So I was like, let's go to noodle bar. And I was trash. No, I was just trash. I was just really, but I was hungry, and we're partying. I didn't realize it was 2:00 in the morning and whatever. And we go into the noodle bar, and I order some noodles. And I'm eating the noodles. Or no. Yeah, I had a little bit of the noodles, but I didn't have a lot of the noodles. And we left, and I think we went and gambled some more and drank some more. But I had a bag of noodles. And I just remember as we were going upstairs the escalator, just having this craving for the noodles. And so I started eating noodles, and I was just tore up. And Rach likes to take those types of videos as we walk to the hotel room. And I was in a good mood, even though I lost that night, and both nights, actually. But so I started getting the noodles. And when you get the noodles out of the noodle box, and like the juices start going everywhere because you're slapping the noodle. You're slapping the noodle, you're slapping the noodles. So I'm like, I got noodle juice. I'm slurring my words. She thought it was hilarious. So everybody else did too. There's the video that's on our social media. It's one of the very rare occasions you will see me drunk in quote unquote public.
In the wild.
In the wild. Enjoy it while it lasts. So all that up there, podcastthebs.com. If you want to be a subscriber, like I said, we appreciate it. We've got so much content for you. 7 days a week, doubling up on different days. And we're getting ready to add another podcast. So like tomorrow. That's how soon, hopefully, if all goes well. So everything's very, very exciting happening for the Bailey Show Network, as we're calling it. New connections, people that we're meeting, people that have reached out to us, people that want to help us. We want to help them. Guests that want to be on we're actually having guests reach out to us now. It's really cool. Very, very cool. Yeah. I like this whole experience. All right. So the Black Cloud for this week for episode 57. Before I get to the nuts and bolts of this, I want to set up a scenario that I think everybody can relate to. Something has happened to you or around you at an unusual or a normal place, right? Like the mall, let's say, or at the barber, or at the pool, some place where weird shit shouldn't happen, but it happened. And it was almost traumatizing, where you have PTSD from it. And forever and ever, no matter where you're at, but as long as it's the same thing, your mind always goes back to that one not so great, it doesn't have to be horrible, but just not so great or odd or weird experience. Does that make any sense to you, Nate?
Yeah.
Okay.
I get what you're saying.
Okay. Brandon, do you have one of those types of things? You know what I'm saying?
I think I kind of know what you're saying. I mean, I like at Brewster's, every time I go by, I think when I dropped my ice cream cone when I was little.
There you go. Okay. So that's not bad. It would be even a better story if a kid knocked your ice cream cone out of your hand. Right? Remember that one time you were jerking Deaf August off in the bathroom and he was standing on top of the toilet and he fell and he hit his head and he came up with this idea for time travel. Yeah. And they were like, we can take the old Chevy and if it goes 18 miles per hour, we can go back to when Noonan didn't have concrete asphalt roads.
They're all dirt.
So 5 years ago.
Our territory.
Man, we can only go back 5 years. That sucks. Anyway, okay, so setting up that scenario just so everybody knows where I'm going with this. And I'll tell you what happened earlier in my life that gave me a flashback of this recent Black Cloud moment. So I was at the mall getting a massage at my normal place, right? With the Asian men. Now they have women. Right? They come from a network of Asians. They really do. Wars hires from what I understand, a network, like it's a third party, and it's this group of Asian massage people, and they all work for an Asian company, and you just hire them from there, and they just ship them over. Not from Asia, but from here. They live here. And they have people that have been there for a while that I usually go to. And then they got some new faces. Now, when I go in there, I do a 30 for 30. I do a 30 on the feet because of my plantar fasciitis. I know, everybody's sick of hearing about it. And I do 30 on my shoulders in the chair.
Minutes or dollars?
Well, both. They're minutes and dollars. Yeah.
So it's $1 a minute?
Yeah, I think that's what they do. But they have a membership program where, not a membership program, but they got a little punch card or an Asian sign card, at the end. So for like every $10 you spend, they do a little Chinese lettering in it, and then
you get a happy ending.
When you get it all filled up, you get $10. You don't get a happy ending.
Free ticket at the buffet.
They do have the curtains in there where you can go and lay down, which I find very odd. I love to do that for a normal massage, but I can't do that in a shopping mall. Like go and lay down and take off your shirt. Like I just think that's fucking weird,
Yeah.
and the chairs are right across from these curtains, and they're just curtain rooms. Like if you're in a hospital, all the beds next to each other, they have curtains.
Or like Brandon's background.
Or like Brandon's background, exactly. And I'll maybe strike up a conversation with somebody, or if you're trying to communicate with the people that work there, most of them don't speak English. You always find yourself talking louder for some reason. The louder you talk, the more they understand. No, don't do that. That kind of thing. So it was late in the evening, and the whole fam was with us. It was me, my wife, grandma was with us. She was in town for a couple days. Ariel, and she had two of her friends with her. They went and got some more piercings and stuff like that. And so I was like, well, you guys do what you got to do. We stopped and have you ever had Bobo before? Bobo tea?
I think so.
So like
maybe I've had it on.
balls?
Can you get it on? Yeah. Can you get it on ice cream, like the little jelly balls?
Yeah. Those are Bobos.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like frog
I've had it
eggs.
when we've.
Yeah, like frog eggs.
They are weird.
Like caviar.
Yeah.
So there's a place in the mall I think it's called Bobo Tea or something tea, which is genius because who doesn't like iced tea, right? It's just a bunch of different flavored iced tea. Starbucks is going to run the market on coffee. Somebody's got to do the counter with tea. And they have, it's really cool. It's very trendy. They have lines coming out of the store. You go in there and you order, like I'll get a mojito tea with some honey bobo. Sounds like honey boo boo, right? I just like to say it. And they put it in this this pretty good sized plastic cup, and they have a machine. I don't know if it's proprietary to them or not, but it is so fucking cool. They have a machine that they put the cup in, and they put it like a stamper down on it, and it seals it. Like those middle school orange juices.
Okay.
But you can't peel it off. You have to cut the son of a bitch off, because that's the problem. If you can't get all the bobo, you're like, how do I get into my cup to get the bobo? And you gotta take your straw and you gotta cut it around. So that's like kind of my thing. When I go to the mall, I go in through Macy's. I park by the men's department so I can see if they got any new Under Armour stuff. Then I walk around. I see this jacket that I always want to buy, but I'll never wear and I'll never buy. And then I go to the iced tea bobo place, and I pass the food court, and I go all the way down where Sears used to be, and get sad because all these stores have gone dark, and now it's called Dino World. Made a dinosaur museum in the mall. Fucking weird.
Weird.
And then you go downstairs and you pass the Oriental Rug store, which will never go out of business and has been there since day one, and nobody is ever in there. And I don't know who goes into the mall to buy Oriental rugs. It's weird. And then you go, and then the Asian people see me and they know me and they wave from down like hello. You know, and it's kind of cool. You know, like I'm a big deal for them. And so
There's our paycheck.
Well, you know, it's like I got friends. When I was a kid, I lived at the mall. I mean, you name the age, I lived at the mall, just different periods of my life doing different things. You know, when I was 7, 8 years old, my mother and my grandmother let me roam the mall. Some of the best memories I have are with my grandmother at the Annapolis Mall, sitting on a bench and having a tuna fish sandwich with her. As I got older, go to the mall with my girlfriend. You know, that was our getaway. Go into the movie theater, do a little touchy-feely. Go into the arcade when arcades existed, way cool times. And then as I got even older, or maybe about the same age, friends go to the mall, we'd meet up. It was packed. We'd go steal something from here, go outside, smoke a cigarette, sip some alcohol, go see a movie, put popcorn in our hair so our moms don't know that we smell like smoke. Blah, blah, blah. So I lived at the mall my whole life. So I still like going to the mall. It reminds me of my grandmother, really, truth be told, especially during the holidays. So we go into, I'm in there. The family goes and does their thing. They know I'm going to be here for an hour. There's nothing else in the mall that I'm interested in other than getting my feet rubbed from my Asian friends and getting my back rubbed from my Asian friends. That's all I want. And drink my bobo tea. So Warris is there. He and his wife May own the place, and they used to be a sponsor of ours. Great people. And they'll probably come back on as another sponsor someday. And so, I'm talking with Warris and, get my feet rubbed and this and this and that, and going back and forth. And then I go over to the chair. You can't really have a conversation when you're in a chair. I didn't realize the mall closes at 8 now. This is all COVID stuff, I guess. And so everything's closing up, and I'm still getting rubbed. And it's like 8:15. The mall's closed. And I had no idea that the mall closed so damn early. So my whole family's there waiting for me to get done my chair rub. It's not as... It doesn't feel the same when people are waiting for you, right? You can't relax knowing that you feel kind of rushed and you're getting tense, and you can't be like that. So I was like, all right, well, at least I got the feet done. That's really the most important thing. We're fine. And I knew there was because I can look at my watch when my face is in, it looks like a butthole, the massage chair thing.
Yeah.
And so I just kind of check my watch every once in a while. And I got about 12 minutes left, give or take. And I hear in the background like something fell from the sky. I mean, it was a pretty loud crash. I was like, didn't think much of it, and I had this woman who's an amazing masseuse. I think her name is like Sun something. There's a sun in there somewhere. She's amazing. She does great. And she's like, I want, she didn't do my feet, but she wanted my shoulder. She was like, I'm doing you. It's like, all right. And so she keeps massaging, but this noise is happening in the background. And it does it again. And I'm like, well, if she's not stopping, then it must not be a big deal. Then it starts to happen consistently. This is all within maybe 15 seconds, right? So it's happening very quickly. And at this point in time, I'm like, I need to look at what's going on, because this sounds like somebody's fighting. And I turn around, and this other Asian guy, is being dragged out from the back of the massage place by another Asian guy, and his eye's bleeding. His face is, one half side of his face is all red, and he's got no expression on his face. I don't know if that's an Asian thing or what, but he had like no expression. He was just mad, and he's swinging, and he's trying to get back there, but you can tell he's not really trying to get back there, but he is trying to get back there. And the other dude who's older, and none of them are really that big, you know, when he's got his hands hooked underneath his arms, and they're all yelling at each other in Asian talk, Mandarin. And I don't know what the fuck they're saying. You know, I'm like, where's my phone so I can do Google Translate? I was just going to put it up. Like, what's that app with music? What was that you could do? Shazam.
Shazam.
They need to do Shazam for Mandarin. And so I don't know what's going on.
They do. Google Translate does it.
Oh, does it? So you can just do speaker and it'll pick up?
Yeah.
Fantastic. I'll know that next time this happens. So I get up and I'm like, okay, what the fuck is going on? And my family's there. So I make sure my family's out of the way, because I don't know who's at fault or what this guy's doing or what's going on back there, because I know there's somebody else back there. It wasn't the guy that's dragging him out. It was the guy who's dragging him out. He'd be beating his ass right there. They'd be fighting. The other dude's dragging him out. They're fighting over something, and I don't know what's going on. And I'm just trying to get the rest of my 12 minutes of massage. Shit like this happens to me all the time. Normal places, weird shit happens. I don't know why. It just does. And so I kind of put where the massage chair is, it's facing towards the mall and the opening of the brick and mortar. And massage chair right is a checkout desk, right? So my family's outside. I push them, you know, I kind of get them to so they're not in the middle. So something, you know, start spraying gunshots. I don't know what the hell's going on. So I put my back towards the desk. And then the sun chick who's massaging me starts yelling at the guy that got his ass kicked. I'm like, what's going on? What? You know, she's like, no, sit down. I finished massage. Fuck you are. I'm not putting my back towards that door. It's just not happening. I go, no. Warris doesn't know what's going on. He's just kind of in la la land. He's not, I don't know what he's doing, right? And so the guy that got his ass kicked is in the middle of the mall, just kind of wandering around, just shaking it off, I guess. And the other dude's in the middle between him and the store. And the guy tries to run back in. He tries to get around him. And he starts to go back there. And we hear a voice in the back screaming. And this guy's trying to get back there. And the other guy grabs him and hooks him again and brings him back. And the wife goes back there. And she gets in this dude that got his ass kicked face and is like slapping him and punching him and slapping him and hitting him on the shoulders and pointing in his finger. I'm like, what's happening? So I find out that's her husband. So my first thought, what would your first thought be? The husband is the one that got his ass kicked and is trying to get back there to fight some more. He's really pissed off.
So he's going in the back room.
Yeah, but he has to go through me, really, because I'm in the middle.
But it's not like there's other customers back there.
No, that's the other thing. Is like, I'm still a fucking customer. Like, what are you doing? What kind of rules do they have in China where you can fight during normal business hours? So what would you think that the fight was over? What would you, if you were me, and you just found out that the chick that's massaging you is his wife and somebody's fighting, what would you think the fight was over? What would your first thought be?
The being the husband and wife wouldn't even play into that for me. I would just think that maybe two of them were arguing over tips since the mall was closing and they were wrapping up, and maybe I don't know if they divide tips or what, but yeah, that's what I would think. My first thought.
Brandon?
Maybe he had a mistress back there.
Okay, so this is where my head went. I'm thinking that the guy's pissed that she's rubbing my shoulders, like she's doing something different for me that she doesn't do for other men. And one of the massage fellas in the back took a little jab at him, like, "Oh, your girl liking the, white face or something," like little dig, and it pissed him off. And then he was gonna come, he beat him up, and then he's gonna come after me. That's my first thought. That's why I didn't want to sit back down. I was thinking the guy was coming after me next, right? How narcissistic am I? And
Yeah, because that's literally her job. So
I know.
I think you'd be comfortable with her rubbing people.
I know, but I mean, like
You never know.
You never know. I mean, think about it. If your wife is a masseuse, and maybe people listening, your wife is a masseuse, you can't tell me that there are certain customers that your wife has that you don't second guess. There's that slimy, greasy affliction shirt wearing douchebag that comes in. You know what he's thinking. Your wife knows what he's thinking. Your wife's never going to tell you she knows what he's thinking. You know what both of them are thinking, but nobody talks about what they're thinking, right? That's the God's truth. Just like if you cut hair for a living, you're going to have guys that are going to come in and wives never tell husbands when guys are flirtatious or hitting on them, because they look at it as a battle they don't even want to fight, because the first thing the guy's going to say is, what did you do to attract it? Victim blame.
Yeah.
And then tell me the whole story. And then if they still have to work with them in a professional atmosphere, you're going to have a problem with it. My wife does real estate for a living. And I know that there have been clients, I know one in particular, she swears up and down it's not true, but the only pictures he likes on her social media are ones of her, not ones of us, but ones of just her. And we've talked about that before. That's an old social media trick for the horny guy. Maybe if she sees that I just like her booby pictures, then she'll want to touch my ding dong. It's anyway. So that's where this whole thing's happening. I'm like, Worse, I got to go. I got to get out of here. And I offer to pay, thinking that they're going to go, don't worry about it. No, they took my money. They gave me an extra little sign stamp, though. I got an extra little $10 off. They didn't charge me full price, which was nice. But like, it was funny because they didn't even register that I was a customer. Like for these Asian people, it's like it was just normal, So I started this story by telling you about traumatizing things that happen in normal places, unusual things happen in normal places that will give you kind of a PTSD. When I was a kid, the first time that I ever went to the Lee Mall, which is in Fort Myers, Florida, there was a fight with kids that were older and bigger than me. And I was walking around the mall. It was late at night towards closing, and I got lost, and I ended up in a corridor of the mall that really was a dead end for the most part. There was no stores or anything like that, and it was fairly dark, and it looked like a place you shouldn't be in. And I see these two groups of guys in this corridor of the mall. Nobody else is there, and dummy me just thinks they're just people in the mall, and I keep walking towards them, and then this all-out brawl takes place. I think I might have been 11 or 12 years old, and I was kind of a scrapper when I was a little kid, but these kids were like 16, 17, 18, and they were hitting hard, and they were. I just remember going, wow, is this a professional fight? Holy shit. And I was not that far away from them, so I turn around and book it, old school term, and go back to mommy, and then I think that night we bought our panda bear hamster, so that just shows you where I was in life, buying panda bear hamsters while these guys are scrapping in the mall. So that moment was traumatizing for me as a kid. Maybe I was a little bit younger, actually. I never went back to that mall. That mall from then and ever more was, just a bad mall to go to. It was bad. Everybody was bad. Everybody wanted to fight. That was in my head. Never went back to the mall. I don't even know if it still exists. So when this happened to me at the massage place, my first thought was that fucking mall. Isn't that weird how those things take place? I mean, this happened 30 years ago plus to me. And the first thought, as soon as I heard the probably second or third boom in the back, I thought of that night, and my body transported to that moment. Like the smells of the mall, the feeling of the dark and dampness of that corridor of the mall, the large white tiles that weren't shiny because there wasn't a lot of light in that mall, passing the phone banks to my right in order to get to where I was trying to, like, all this stuff started coming back like within seconds. It was the wildest experience. It was so surreal. And I was like, get me out of here. I told Rachel, said, get me out of here. She's like, what's wrong? She's like, everything's fine now. I go, I know. I know everything's fine, but I I'm traumatized. She goes, you're going to have to explain this to me on the ride home. I said, I will. So I had to tell her the whole story. And she goes, that's trippy. That's weird. She's like, you're fucked up upstairs. You got some issues going on, kid.
Did they not see this going on? I thought you said they were there watching you get a massage. Did they not hear the noise?
No, they saw everything from start to finish, but didn't bother them at all. I mean, like the
Weird.
kids, the kids were like, well, no big deal. Like nobody thought it was a big deal. You know?
Well, yeah, because they got guns and gangs in their school.
Yeah, I know. Really, look at every high school now has got something going on. So that was my black cloud, and I know when I walked away, I stopped. I found a safe place, a big pole with a blue light on top, and I put a note in my phone. It's under my black cloud notes in my notes section of my phone, and I said Asian massage fight / PTSD Lee Mall fight. That was the notes I put. But the experience I'm talking about, Nate, do you have one of those where something abnormal happened in a normal climate, a normal atmosphere, normal surroundings, and then years later something similar happens and it takes you back to that very moment?
I don't know if something similar has happened in like the same spot, but I definitely have things that have happened in certain areas where I just don't go back there because of it. I mean, just walking around downtown Atlanta, there's a corner where I saw a guy taking a dump on the sidewalk and I had to walk around it. So I've just made sure to never walk, even though it's not like it's his regular dump spot or anything, but I'll never go back to that corner because I know exactly what happened there and I don't want to walk by it.
Yeah. Isn't it weird how the brain works, how the mind works, how the body works? Is that so many things you forget, but the things that you remember that you remembered only because they're triggered by something else that happens is fascinating to me. It's absolutely fascinating. Like, I actually transport it to, let's just call it 11 years old. I transport it to when I was 11 in that mall. I could smell the smell. I could see the see. I could hear the hear. Everything that was in that moment in time when I was 11, and I have not thought about that moment for years, but because, and it was the second, I remembered it was the second noise in the back that triggered it. And my face is still in the butthole, right? In the donut of the massage chair. And I transported. It was like that fucking Christopher Reeves movie, Lost in or Somewhere in Time. I transported back to that moment. And it was so trippy where it freaked me out, where I wasn't even paying attention afterwards to the fight and what was happening. I didn't even see the guy he was fighting. I don't even know who he was fighting. I'm assuming it's the guy that's been there for a long time. That's what I found out later because I asked Worse. I said, what happened? And I guess one of the fighter A, let's just call him fighter A, has been there for a while, OG. Fighter B is new. Fighter A was ribbing the new guy, bullying the new massage guy. That's what I heard. And he got sick of it. And he got pissed off. He started fighting. Looks like he got his ass kicked. Maybe not. I don't know because I haven't seen the other guy. I know they tore some shit up in the back. And I've been in the back. And the sound, I know what the sound was. Those metal shelves that you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, like that kind of almost scaffolding kind of thing.
Yeah, they're like really bright silver. Like,
yeah,
and they got the black, and they got little ribs around it where you stick them in. It's all lined up in the back of those. That and a couple washer and dryers. So I've been in the back. I know what the back looks like. Brandon, any experience like that before? Yes.
The only thing I can think of when I broke my leg in my driveway, and sometimes when I walk in that same spot, I'll just like remember wrecking the bike and twisting my leg in half.
Yeah, deja vu. So you both must believe in deja vu, correct?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Nate?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think you can't believe in it, right?
Sure.
I mean, it's just triggering a memory.
I don't know. Is deja vu something that would be something like we should ask? Like Brandy would be one of those types of people that say, "I don't believe in deja vu." Aliens, yes. God, no. Deja vu, absolutely not. So I don't know. I don't know if I've ever met someone that said they don't believe in deja vu. Now that I think about it, so you might be right. You might actually have a point. All right, so that's my black cloud for this week. Fucked up story, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, totally. And so now when you go back, do they own the chairs that are like in the middle of the little corridor also?
I don't know. That's a good. I was going to bring that up and I omitted it from my story. There's chairs right outside the coin massage chairs. I don't know if they own those or not. I'm not sure. I can ask Wars.
Oh yeah, well they have those, but I thought they also did massages like in the middle of the mall.
Oh yeah, they do. That's how they start it. And he's got a couple of these places. He's got one in I think Iowa or Idaho or something like that.
Yeah, Iowa actually was the first mall I ever worked at.
Oh, okay.
Which is very random. Yeah, Jordan Creek Mall. But yeah, so I was wondering if now when you go back, are you going to get a massage somewhere else so your back isn't to that door?
It's a good question because
Or can they turn the table?
Turn the tables because I'm weird like that. In restaurants, my back's always towards the wall. I'm always facing the entrance. It's an old Italian mob thing, even though I'm not Italian and I've never been in a mob. But when they opened up the brick and mortar, I started asking because they'd always want you to do the chairs out in the mall. That's when they start before they had the brick and mortar. I'd have the chairs out in the mall and I'd stay. But then people would fuck with me. Like fans of the radio show, they come up. They wouldn't fuck with me, but they'd occasionally. It's just weird, like somebody from upstairs.
Tickle your feet.
Like, hey, what's going on? And one time a guy paid for my massage and just left a note. Appreciate what you do. Oh, that was nice. But then,
nice.
But every, Ariel and her friends will walk by and they'll put their face. I'm trying to massage. It's a little bit difficult to enjoy your massage if you got all these people. But I do like to not see and listen to the sights and sounds. Because I have this uncanny ability of being able to break down conversations. So if there are 20 people talking as they walk by me, I have the ability to single out a certain conversation. It's like listening to a song and breaking down the different instruments. I can hear just the guitar. I can hear just the vocals. I can hear just the percussion, drums. I can hear just this and just that. I can do the same thing with noise, like those types of noises in the mall. That's kind of neat. But when they open up the store, I was like, I want to go in there because I feel safer. That nobody's. So you never know what's going to happen. I'm weird like that. Right. But now that I know shit's happening in the back, Royal Rumble, New Japan Wrestling is happening in the back room. I don't know what I'm going to do, to be honest with you. I don't know. We're gonna have to figure something. You're gonna have to figure something out. There is a little nook where the chair. Well, where the chair is, if you push it all the way to the wall and have your back there, I might actually ask him to rearrange his furniture for me. I could do that.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Or you could just go over to Brandon's Rub and Tug and just have him come there.
You got a Rub and Tug place, Brandon?
No, we can set up a, we got this little thing here. We can put it down in the shop and get a little table up.
You've been to one of those jerky jerks, haven't you?
No, I have not. I don't even know. I've never even had a massage.
Oh, what do you call what Def August does?
Loving time.
Loving time. All right, podcastthebs.com. Please go to the website. Bailey's big blog is up there. I'm going to, if I have not already, start putting them on the YouTube and actually putting them up as free podcast episodes for those that care or want to hear me nerd out with some industry type of stuff. I enjoy them. I think they're very good. Also, the merch store is up there. You can subscribe for you non-subscribers that just listen to Wednesday's show. For $4.99 a month, you get so much. You get so much. And we also do the big giveaways, so we have just a few days left for February, right? As we're, inching towards March, Big Steve Boating. We've got a day out on Lake Lanier to do some fishing with you and 3 of your buddies with Big Steve Boating, at Big Steve Boating on the Instagram. By the way, the certificate, which I read off of, that was off the top of my head, but the certificate that we're going to give the winner, let me just make sure, because Logan and I were going back and forth. It says, this certificate good Monday through Sunday per days and times available, up to 4 per person. 6. So that's what I've been telling everybody. I've just been reading I've just been reading what he sent me. So he texts me and he says, dude, make sure people know that we're open 7 days a week. And I said, am I not? Does the commercials not say that? He goes, I don't know. People are calling and asking, saying, can we do it? So it's just a certificate. They're open. He's around 7 days, 24/7, 365, blah, 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 blah. He's around all the time. It's just this certificate. So I'm not going to read that anymore.
But that is 7 days a week, isn't it? Monday through Sunday.
Monday through Sunday.
It is. What am I talking about? What's he talking
No,
about?
but you're right. Some businesses will do that, like in their hours. They're like, we're open Monday through Sunday. Well, it's like, at first you're thinking, well, so are they not open Saturday? Wait, no, that's covered. So,
Why would he put that on the certificate? Monday through Sunday. That's not normal talk. Just say.
I've seen it in restaurants and stuff where they say what their hours are in advertisements. So maybe that's some kind of marketing thing. But yeah, you'd think just 7 days a week would make sense.
Yeah, 7 days a week. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Oh, anyway, I think we made our point. At Big Steve Boating.
Wednesday through Tuesdays.
At Big Steve Boating on the Instagram, or you can call him at 706-299-1704 if you want to book a trip for the upcoming spring and summer months. He is filling up fast, I will tell you that. Make sure you mention the BS, that you're a 2%er. You get a nice little discount with them, which is cool. But this certificate, which is worth $700, give or take, is going to somebody for free if you're a subscriber. And I'll just go to the email list of subscribers that I have access to, and I'll shoot an email out, and hopefully it won't be a big deal, and you'll be able to get back to me sooner than later. All right. With that being said, Nate, got anything before we go?
If you're getting a massage, watch your back.
Yes. Brandon.
Whoa.
The BS now, Friday through Thursday.
Thank you, Brandon. All right. Thanks for listening. Back.
Get off my lawn! It's old man Kevin, and the BS is done for right now.
Please share, like, and support podcastthebs.com. It's better than radio.
Now, get out of here.